Hey folks, welcome to another episode of Moved, where we talk to people who have moved abroad and are trying to live their best life. In this mini episode, we talk to Ben Brandt, who is an American living in Heidelberg, Germany. He tells us why he chose an impossible time to move when his wife was pregnant, when they already have a toddler, and during COVID, and ultimately why they don't regret the decision to move. You also want to stick around to find out whether the US political landscape in 2021 might or might not have influenced his decision to move. Enjoy!
We moved to Germany in 2021, so kind of during the COVID lockdown times, and the motivation was getting a change of scenery.
You and your wife moved at the same time. There must have been some kind of discussion there.
So it was COVID times. We had been kind of stuck in our house with our toddler for, I don't know, at that point, like a year. And I think we wanted something to change. We were thinking like maybe we should buy a new house. Maybe we should just do something different. And I'm a software engineer, and on one of the email newsletters I get, there was a posting for a job in Heidelberg, Germany. And my wife and I had visited Heidelberg maybe 8 years before and thought, wow, this place is really cool. We were only there for a couple of days, but we just kind of fell in love with the city. And so I saw this job for this technology I really love, plus Heidelberg, which we liked. So then I was like, oh, that would be cool, but nah, that'll never happen. But my wife looked at the job posting and was like, no, you have to apply. This is perfect for you. And so we sent an application thinking like, well, that'll never happen. But eventually I got offered the job, and once it started getting more real, we definitely spent a lot of time talking about it. And at some point we thought this is kind of risky, that we're not really sure how this is going to go, but we felt it was one of those decisions that we would regret not trying. We might regret moving there, but we felt we would regret more like having not tried it if we spent the rest of our lives just thinking, what if? So we started selling all of our stuff or giving it away until we got down to like a few suitcases, and then made the move to Germany.
You and your wife definitely took a leap of faith there, especially when you were already parents, to make the move. Plus COVID, it's just like this perfect mix of, no, what are you doing? Is there something wrong with you? kind of.
Yeah, I left out the part that, my wife was currently pregnant. And when we moved, it was like 3 months before my second daughter was going to be born. So to just add to the craziness, we thought, this was all a great idea. In hindsight, maybe we were a bit naive, but we don't regret it at this point.
I want to ask you, so you said you moved in 2020, right? 2020,
2021, yeah. June of 2021, yeah.
And this is a question that don't have to go into politics, but I'm really curious whether the political situation in the US might have affected you in deciding also to move out for a while.
I think that the political landscape in the US just feels very chaotic at the moment, but I guess that's kind of becoming more the norm across the world. There's just a lot more chaotic situations, things that you thought you kind of took for granted aren't there anymore. I mean, when we moved, technically there was a new president, and so some Germans were definitely like, but you have a new president, why are you moving here? But I think it wasn't like I don't think we moved primarily because of the political situation, but it's also kind of a factor of like, how long do we stay here? Each election kind of comes with its own chaos, and it's made me reflect on like things I used to take for granted, I think, in terms of a certain amount of stability that just isn't there now. And I guess I'm not expecting it now. From the political situation. I think unfortunately, it feels like it'll just continue to be a bit chaotic, which is unfortunate.
Do you feel like after moving that the political landscape that you are immersed in now in Europe and in Germany is a bit better than what you had before you moved?
Yeah, that's something I reflect on as well. I think since I'm not a German citizen, and so I don't get to vote here, I'm not as plugged into the political landscape here. And it also seems like even like following along in the last election, there seems to be some similar moves happening. So like I said, I think it's just kind of unfortunately feels like the world is simultaneously moving in similar directions. Some of the changes aren't happening as drastically as in like the last few months, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yes. Hey, a quick note before you go. If you enjoyed this video and it helped you in some way, please consider subscribing and giving a like to this video. That's going to help this channel grow. Thank you. See you in the next one.